Shabbos Kodesh, we discussed a fascinating shaila, very connected to what the Olam is learning in the Daf Yomi, which is the sugi of Avodah Zarah, what's considered Avodah Zarah. The Gemara is a discussion about houses that used to be worshipped, the houses themselves. So there's a shaila that the Minchas Yitzchak and Rav Sternbuch discuss, whether a person is able to look at the clock on the church in order to know the time. I remember when I was living in Riverdale, the church was exactly across the street. Sometimes the person's on his way, he wants to make sure he's not late. So this is a very interesting shaila. Pashut Pshat, simply understood, if a house itself is not Avodah Zarah, that means it's just housing Avodah Zarah. So then, first of all, Christianity itself is a dispute amongst the Rishonim if it's Avodah Zarah. But even if it was considered Avodah Zarah, idol worshipping, still the house, the building itself, is already considered a tashmish. It's just something that's used for Avodah Zarah. And therefore you could argue that the clock is the tashmish, which would be mutter. Nevertheless, it's an incredible story that's related about Rav Aaron Kotler, Zichrono Livracha, the Rosh Yeshiva of Lakewood, many years ago. There was a student, he was one of the Iluim, one of the great students in the yeshiva. One day he comes to the Rebbe and he says, Rebbe, I don't know what's going on with me, but I have such a crazy desire to join Christianity. Mamish. Rav Aaron Kotler was baffled, and he's trying to strengthen his Emunah and to his belief and to make it so clear what's true and what's not true and where our tradition comes from and where we come from. Anyway, after whatever his attempts were, he realized he can't do it al pi teva, based on nature. He decided he's going to go to the Kapishnitzah. It's a great Rebbe, Rav Hershel. So he went to Rav Hershel, and the Rebbe told him, he said, ask your Talmud, your student, when he's trying to be mechaven, that means to make sure, align his watch, how does he do so? Rav Aaron Kotler was very surprised at that question, but he said, okay, the Rebbe says. So he went back and he spoke to the student and he asked him, he said, first of all, he asked, do you have a watch? So the student said, you have a great watch. He said, beautiful. He said, how are you making sure that your watch is on time? So the student said, Rabbi, every single morning, the dormitory was across from a church. So every single morning, the 7 o'clock bell rings on the church. And I make sure that my watch is exactly aligned. So I know the exact time, so I'm making it to yeshiva on time. So Rav Aaron Kotler understood very well what the Kapitchnitzer told him. And he said, listen, I'm getting you a new watch. A watch that's perfect, that doesn't lose its time. You don't have to be mechaven, you don't have to align it. It's going to work, it's going to be perfect. And this is exactly what happened. And the story is brought down in the Sefer Shashui Torah. And it says, one of the great, this great student became one of the great leaders of the Jewish people. Who that is, I don't know. But it teaches us again how important it is when a person wants to be close to the Rabbi Shem. We're holding 30 days, less than 30 days before the Chag Emunah, the holiday of where we have to strengthen our belief and be so clear. A person has to know that anything that we attach ourselves is going to take away from our Emunah, and the Rabbi Shem should give us siyata dishmaya, that we should be baalei ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim. Something that we already have inside of us and we just have to strengthen all the time. Have an amazing day.